Welcome, everyone. This is the last and final session of this year's EA Global Summit 2020. We thank you all once again for making this event so special and your active participation in the teams and in the sessions. So this is Nizam from the organizing team, and with us today we have Madhav, the product manager from Sparx Systems Prolaborate team, and he's going to talk to us about how to integrate EA models with Confluence and SharePoint to consolidate digital knowledge management. Thank you, Madhav, for joining us. And we look forward to this exciting presentation. Just a quick note on questions. As we all know, mostly by now, we use the Teams to raise any questions or have a discussion with the speakers. And we will request the speakers to be available post the session in the Teams channel to interact with us. The link to the Teams channel will be posted in the chat window. We request you all to please join us and continue this discussion. Once again, thank you all for making this event so very special. And the last 5 days was really exciting, and the entire team would like to thank you all for making it special. Passing to Madhav now.
Thanks a lot, Nizam. Hello, guys. Let me share my screen. Nizam, can you see my screen?
Yes, Madhav. Yes.
Okay, great. So that let's kickstart the final session with some Friday humor. So there are two guys talking about the architecture, and so we don't want the architecture to be made simpler like this. So, okay, moving on. Okay, just to give a brief about what we'll be covering. So obviously it will be about Confluence integration majorly, or the main topic is that. But before that, I'll give a short, very short. I'll not take much time. Short intro into what Prolaborate is for and where the Confluence integration fits into. And for that, let's have a look at what would be the needs of EA stakeholder. So I mean, if we start from something like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs, so first would be just, okay, hey, there's a team, the EA users, Sparx EA users are modeling or architecting. I just want to see what's going on. Can you do it? Okay, it just starts from, okay, I just want to be exposed on what's being done. Next, okay, I can see something interesting in going on. Is there a way I can be up to date regularly without like poking someone from the team? And okay, so it's all going good, and I mean, it would be good if I can come in and give my feedback, and basically collaborated modeling environment. And as we go further, the whole focus moves on from, hey, okay, this is just what's modeled. Are there multiple visualizations that can be done? And finally, what about, okay, I want to check, do an impact analysis or a traceability analysis, or I want to check how a specific change can impact the whole architecture. And so if we think in terms of the stakeholders' needs in this way, how Prolaborate exactly solves them or fulfills the needs is what we are seeing here. So publish is the Confluence SharePoint integration part, the basic making the information available to the stakeholders. So it can be through links, or it can be through the macro of Confluence, or links in the SharePoint integration. The next is being up to date on what's happening. So we have a lot of capabilities, starting from access controls, specifically sharing specific models or packages or diagrams, or role-based dashboards, Jira, Azure DevOps integration, collaboration. We have reviews and discussions, and if there are any feedback, you would be able to even edit information in Prolaborate. And in terms of visualizations, we'll have a quick look at the charts and reports. And finally, we have something called diagrammer, and we also have the relationship matrices. So I'll just take you through few snaps. So sharing, basically, this is the role-based dashboard. A user logs in, sees a specific piece of the information with all the information laid out, rather than they going around and finding it. Collaboration, this is the feeds where people can come in, kind of a social media wall. Integration, so this is Jira report, a live report shown inside Prolaborate in the context of the project that is being worked on. And visualization, you can, there's the possibilities or what you can do with it is endless. We also have intuitive designer, so this is just some of the visualizations that are possible. And we have the matrices, and on the right is something which an exciting feature which we are going to release soon, which we call the diagrammer. You can see how the impact of a change here is can be seen with the rest of the model information out there. So with that short brief, so that's just to give an idea of what's Prolaborate, and also to let you know it's Prolaborate is not just about Confluence. What we try to do is solve every single business or a non-EA user's use case or needs. And I guess you would have got a good overview about it. And with respect to okay, coming back to or coming to our primary topic for the day, what we'll be covering is what's the objective or what's the goal of this integration, and we'll have a sneak peek into what a real customer does with this integration. And the okay, you say the objectives are great, the customers are using, so how will it will really be, how will be the user experience? And I mean, as soon as we see the intuitive user experience, the next obvious question is, okay, so how much, what's the kind of efforts we need to put in to make this work? And we'll close the session with some of or many of the frequently asked questions like over many months. So, and we'll try to cover everything that's related to it, starting from why to do, what to do, when to do, and how to do it, and how to really get going with this. So you at the end of this session, you will be very clear on what it offers and how to implement it and how to make use of it in your organization. And if so, if you feel there is some gaps, or if you're not seeing something which you expect to see, please feel free to raise questions. And okay, so just before the goal, so why do we really have to have Confluence integration? So I guess I would have given nearly 100 demos of it, and every single demo on Confluence integration, there's only one use case. I guess all the audience can relate to it. So okay, hey, what do you guys do now? We copy paste images. What else? Is there any other problems? No, we copy paste images, and we don't want to do it. And obviously, what's the problem behind it? Number one, it's copy pasting on a daily basis, and it's a static information. And what's the result? I mean, you have to do it daily. You multiply this manual effort of a specific diagram into the number of diagrams, into the modelers, and the size of the architecture efforts going on, you'll really see. So it's not just a copy paste problem, but a huge problem out there. And what's the goal of this? So that's the context or the problem which we are trying to solve. And what are we trying to achieve with the Confluence integration? So it's not just okay, you were copy pasting, you'll not copy paste. Now it's about engaging the business users or the right stakeholders in an easier way. So it's easier for the modelers to share information. It's better for the consumers or the users to see live information all the time, so they don't have to, the EA users don't have to copy paste every day, and the business users don't have to poke, hey guys, the latest update is missing, can you please post it again? And obviously with we don't have to talk about publishing, we can move on with talking about what's there, and taking the complete modeling efforts to its fruition or achieving your vision or the target state. And who is using it? So this is a Fortune Global 500 company in Australia, a bank, and their goal was to make effectively share and collaborate on EA models using Confluence. So I mean, they have a huge architecture practice, and they have I guess the unlimited enterprise edition of Confluence. Almost everybody in their organization is there, and and they were exactly doing what we'll think. So copy paste, and so it's not effective. And obviously, okay, one more thing, it's not just about the diagrams, right? I mean, let's say you share a requirement diagram, so the diagram doesn't have everything that you have to communicate. Okay, let me copy paste everything. Something changes, I mean, it's a huge effort. So basically manually reproducing what's done already, I mean, which is something which after so much effort we have done a model, but okay, let me recopy paste everything. And how this integration changed how everything works, you can see on the left, it's there is no Prolaborate still. I mean, Prolaborate is in the background, so it cannot work without it, but it's just Confluence. So what really happens is you just share information from your models only once. You embed and forget, and so that's the end of it. So copy pasting and no poking, nothing, just embed and forget. And so what are all the benefits? So live information, better adoption of EA. I mean, obviously the more frictions or the more manual efforts involved in the process, and the more dependency on a specific person in a process, obviously it's the process cannot succeed, or it cannot be really productive. So well, better adoption. And a new use case, or we would say, I mean, not much expectation on this, but now any business user, so we'll see the UX. So any business user is able to view or pull in information from the model. So it's not just about, I mean, how even I started with it is, hey, share it easily and intuitively. I mean, the whole use case changed. I am able to get any model information, and all I have to remember or try to know is just a keyword. We'll see how it works. And obviously everything is given on a platter in an app which the users use on a daily basis. So I mean, even if we say, hey, here are the huge set of benefits, but this is the new app where you can do it, again there would be some slight friction unless and until it provides extremely intuitive UX. But here there's no need to learn a new app at all. And what all can be done here? So you can view diagrams, drill down on composite diagrams, browse packages, objects, or even browse repositories, and all the charts and visualizations as well. So I guess I spoke too much about the benefits, but now let's move on and see the real demo. So you can see this is Confluence, and I mean, just observe the experience. And I mean, I mean, just be in a state where, I mean, you are just a Confluence user. You want to bring some information, and you don't know what's EA, or you don't know what's Prolaborate, and just look at the experience. So I click on add, and I was instructed, hey, select Prolaborate. Okay. And okay, there can be multiple repositories based on the access. We'll talk more about this. And I was told, don't touch anything, just type in what you want and click on find. So I just type in goals. I'm not even typing something huge, and I say find. They see a entry. I click on add, and I click on update. So what is this? So I mean, we just did a few clicks over like 5 to 10 seconds, and what has come here? So this is live architecture information straight from your EA models here, and obviously the whole benefit. So I have embedded it once, so the modeler or anybody don't have to touch it ever again. Anytime in EA at this moment, the next moment you are seeing it in Confluence, it would be updated. And as I said, It's not just about the diagrams. You can see there is more information there. And okay, what more information can you bring? If that's a question, let's see what can be brought. Okay, so now I'll just say app, and let's click on find, and we'll bring in information on all the commercial off the shelf applications. And that's a big list, and we can zoom in and zoom out to understand more. And if you look below, so here I'm just flipping a switch or changing a drop down, and you can see all the metadata of these apps. Okay, what's the cost involved in running this app? What's the health indicator? Which unit handles it? What's the life cycle? What kind of security classification? And any specific information that's there. So you can see, let's say you are exporting Excel and embedding it all this information every single time, so you don't have to do it at all, and it's all customizable. So even in Excel you have to change everything. It's just this just needs a one-time configuration, and basically you can bring in all that information. And okay, so based on few more questions, I would say, based on the frequently asked questions in demos. Okay, how about an interactive view? So okay, you showed me the embedding and the tables, but people are used to like clicking and understanding information. So we can even embed such links. You can see the kind of discussions that are going on and the Jira links, and once clicked on it, you can see this is called the properties window, or this is equivalent to the attributes window in EA, and you can see there's a lot missing, but it's not missing. We have customized it in that way. We are exposing only very specific information. So in EA, you can see a huge list of attributes and properties and tagged values. I mean, it might be overwhelming, or it might not be really relevant to this business user. So what we do is customize it. Hey, just expose name nodes, what's the status and the most important attributes of these requirements. And even if there are any, let's say, documents or linked documents, even those can be seen. You can see even the traceability information here. And I'm even able to read it. And okay, another frequently asked question. So how about composite diagrams? We just want to start with something and we want users to drill down. Okay, let's see how that works. So I just embedded a link. What I do is so this is an composite object. I double click on it. So I start from business goals. You could please notice I land on this specific revenue growth, and I double click and I land on the application portfolio, and I further click to land on the list of application. So from goals to the applications in just few clicks. And I mean, this is endless. So based on your how the architecture is done. So this is just to show the possibility. And okay, how about we move from just exposing what's already built, but visualizing or presenting information. Okay, it's again a link. So you can see there are two ways how we do what we do here. I'll explain it shortly. So I add a link copied from there. You can see it's the complete end-to-end dashboard from Prolaborate. So we have multi-level charts and three-dimensional bubble charts and roadmaps. So these can be enterprise roadmaps, your application portfolio, strategy maps, bird's eye view, and it's not just flashy images, it's interactive. So here, if I just want to quickly take you through what's happening here, or let me talk in terms of EA. So this is an UML actor, Archimate work package, and application component of BPM and 2 activity connected. So you can imagine it's an end-to-end architecture model. These are connected through different connectors and different information. But here, what we are saying is, what's the goal? So I want to understand what the projects handled by CFO, okay? And in that one of the projects, I want to understand which applications are involved, okay? And that application which BPM and activities or business activities are using. And this is the multi-level business capability tree map. We start from L0, we click on it, the business necessity, okay, supply chain management or corporate service, it's L2. So basically, I mean, we move on from just exposing what's done to presenting information to the audience that are interactive. You can see on the right, it's depends on the user. They can just click through and interact with them. So these are all some of the capabilities. We are not, we haven't seen everything, but let's have a look at how these things happen in SharePoint. So it's similar links. And let's say we want to expose a set of requirements to the development team, and they use SharePoint to view information and do the testing, and also the quality team, they do create the test cases based on it. So we again bring the intuitive Prolaborate view here, and basically you can see there are multiple views possible, and so all those complex documentation that was needed before is replaced by this one-time embedding of information. And again, it's exactly the similar view, exposing the live information, and even if there are any kind of documents, you will be able to read it. And how about we bring a piece of a repository itself? So we have been seeing okay, a diagram, okay, a package, a set of requirements, visualization. How about we share a piece of the whole repository? So here we bring the whole EA model here. You can see starting from vision, mission to the processes, portfolio, data models, governance documents, and solution architecture. You have requirements and use cases and everything. And again, it's the experience is same, the customized experience of exposing just selective information. So be it Confluence or SharePoint, I guess you guys get the point. Be it Confluence or SharePoint, it's about bringing the right information to the right audience in an intuitive way. And okay, I guess I did not mention a point. Let's say some information changes. I mean, it can be anywhere. Let's say information based on which visualization is changed. What happens? The visualization immediately gets updated. So I mean, you do something, you embed something once, you continue your modeling. You don't have to ever come to Confluence or SharePoint again to share something that has already been shared. I mean, if we talk very specific in terms of a diagram, let's say you change the diagram, no problem. You move the diagram, no problem. You migrate, and even then, I mean, there would be a small prerequisite. You have to keep the IDs intact. Even then, the whole business users experience or their views in Confluence or SharePoint stays intact. You never have to go and reshare something ever again. Okay, so obviously, yes, the question would be, okay, you say a lot of good things, but how does it really work? And what do we really need to do it to work? So there are two kinds of ways you could have definitely seen. One is through the macro, which is like we started with the Confluence macro, just few clicks anybody in your organization can view, and we explored a lot of visualizations and repositories and SharePoint integration through links. And you can see macro, we currently we support Confluence only, and links obviously you can use in both, but you can see a blurred SharePoint. So this is something which we are currently working on. We are happy to share that through this session, and we are expecting the SharePoint macro to be available in the upcoming quarters. And obviously the whole, you don't have to ever even do this. You just, I'm in SharePoint, click, few clicks, anybody in my organization can use, share and view information. And even there, how does it work in detail? So sharing links, it's just installation and configuration of Prolaborate, and with macro, it's just one-time configuration only. And okay, so quickly moving on. So we saw why to have Confluence integration, what does it do, and what are the ways we can share information. And the immediate next question is, okay, how do we get started? So, I mean, based on, again, I mean, this whole presentation is purely 100% based on all the interactions from the demos. So this is something, again, based on that. It is based on your requirements, how to get started. So some people say, hey, we want to just share live information. Hey, Prolaborate, I mean, we have to, we'll think about it. I mean, it provides a lot of functionalities, but the immediate need is this. It's a huge headache copy pasting information. So you can get started with the growing themes edition, the smallest pack with the integrations add-on. I mean, this is just give a high level idea. Yeah, obviously you can definitely reach out to us to get a personalized demo or learn more. And second scenario is, okay, sharing macro is fine, but we also want to share repositories and visualizations. That link is good. So there would be an additional open community access add-on. And so first two are like mostly taken by organizations who have an immediate need of fulfilling something. So obviously almost everybody comes to the point 3. Hey, we want to integrate, that's the most important use case, but okay, the sharing and collaboration and reviews and dashboards and diagrammers and analyzing and all the tools, I guess it would be definitely useful. So the base package which provides everything that Prolaborate has to offer is the large teams edition, which has 100 licensed users to it. And okay, so important FAQs. So again, getting started. So this is again, okay, so you told, let me just go back. So you are saying 10 licensed users and the add-ons. So does it really mean only 10 Confluence users can use it? No. So as of now, there are no limitations for the macro. So any number of viewers, any number of EA users who are embedding information can use that macro to take the model information to a wide range or a huge number of Confluence audience. And so is it Mac server or cloud or both? We support both the cloud and server versions. And just to a little bit more, so, okay, well, you said there is a one-step configuration. So where do I get the macro? So it's in the Atlassian Marketplace. You do a small Google search, Sparx Prolaborate, Atlassian Marketplace, you'll get it. And what specifically are the required prerequisites? So, okay, this is an important point again. So Prolaborate installation, again, it's one time only, is needed to enable the linking between your Confluence server or cloud with your EA models. And obviously there are 2 servers and 2 app servers there. They should be able to talk with each other, and that's the point 2. And some very good questions raised in the demos. Okay, you said anybody can just search and get the information, but we have a lot of confidential information. So how do we handle that? It's extremely simple. I mean, we have an access permissions or access controls, a specific module wherein you can just go on. I mean, let's say for an example, we just want to expose the diagrams to the Confluence, but we have like 10,000 diagrams. No problem. You can just give access to those diagrams only, and all the confidential information can be switched off or removed from the Confluence users view. And Next question is, so you saw specific metadata, right, for the applications. So how do we really do it? So you said we can bring applications and business unit, IT unit. So this is again through an intuitive interface in Prolaborate. It's again a one-time configuration, again available at an extremely granular level. I mean, somebody opens a business goal, they see a specific set of attributes. Application, something different. So you can customize it at any level. And okay, so getting started is fine, the pricing is fine, and the configuration is fine, but obviously, I mean, a lot of companies jump right into it looking at the value, but no problem if you want to showcase it to a wider audience to get approvals and purchase and do the purchase maybe after a while, no problem at all. We provide both on-premises and cloud proof of concept. So I mean, if you're willing to set up everything and do the integrations and check it and share it and really showcase the value to your management before purchasing it, there's a free proof of concept. But okay, we don't want to really do all the setup, but is there a way to just link and showcase information, let's say within a week? So we have a very efficient cloud team who can do it in just one business day. You say, hey, we want to do a cloud POC, it's paid by the way, but you just say one day and you get the cloud dedicated to you. Because for example, let's say I am the customer, madhav.prolaborate.com, just one single day you get started with it. 1 week you submit the approvals and you can get started as soon as possible. So that's a quick overview starting from why we do it and what did we really see. Okay, just to give a high level summary. So we saw obviously the Prolaborate, what it's capable of, and why do we really have to publish? So engage all the users and what are all the capabilities. So with the macro, it's just few clicks in Confluence, you bring live information to the audience. With the links, the possibilities are endless. You can bring in visualizations, dashboards, clickable views, documents, and link documents, everything that Prolaborate has to offer and online view has to offer. And how do we really do this? It's through the macro, which can be available from the marketplace, or the links available from Prolaborate. And we also saw a quick overview on how to get started and the important questions. So I guess that's it for today. And I mean, as I just to reiterate, so these are all purely based on all the questions and usage. And I mean, this is the complete end-to-end question, frequently asked question list with us based on our customers' usage of more than a year. I really hope almost all the answers would be answered. But if you have more, I can definitely take it. So are there any
Thank
questions?
you very much, Madhav. There are quite a few questions, and there are a couple of comments and feedback in the Teams channel. But given that we have a couple of minutes, maybe we'll take a few questions. So, there's a couple of questions. One which says, "Can dashboards be generated without Prolaborate?" That was from Anthony.
No. I mean, which app feeds information? It's Prolaborate only. So Confluence, as of now, stays in a place where we build in Prolaborate. I mean, it would be a specific audience who builds it, but it would be a huge audience who views it. The straight answer is you can do it only in Prolaborate.
Okay. So there is another question from Morris. Again, these have been added to the Teams channel as well. It says the table diagram object. Can I decide what information will be in Confluence? You know how we have a couple of columns in the Confluence page. Is it customizable?
Yeah, as I said, you can go at a very granular level to customize. As I said, so business goals, you want to just talk about the goals. If it's apps, you want to talk about cost and security classification, where it's deployed, what are the kind of the strategic usage, technical complexity. If it's a requirement, it's more about what's the criticality, Moscow classification. You can go up to very specific stereotype level to expose only what you want to expose to the audience.
Okay, great. So another question is from Ursula, which is, when it comes to EA versus Prolaborate, where is EA project stored? What's the way to access EA project? And how's versioning of model managed? Is there a access right management? I guess this is an
Okay.
elaborate question. So we've added this to the Teams channel as well. So it will be appreciated if you can please provide your response in detail in the Teams. But if you want to quickly explain, how is the EA repository and Prolaborate repository connected? What's the connection between these two?
Yeah, very good question. So how Prolaborate really connects is there is no separate repositories, and there is absolutely no prerequisites or requirements on your side. So Prolaborate, I mean, at Prolaborate, we ensure that you don't touch anything of your current infrastructure. You have your EA users install EA, the EA repositories are there. Prolaborate directly connects to your repositories directly, in the sense there is Pro Cloud server in the between, but there is no duplication of efforts or of any kind. You using EA thick client, you connect to your repository. It can be through cloud or server connection. Prolaborate connects to the same repository, fetches information and shows it to you. There is no kind of duplication or manual efforts to bring in anything from the models to Prolaborate.
Okay, so I guess again a more elaborate response with some insights would be helpful, because most of us,
Yeah, definitely. We'll
we like
share
to
more
understand. Yeah.
information in the Teams channel. I guess the questions are very valid. We can share, I mean, very specific links to how the whole thing works as well.
So I guess like there's a number of questions following up. So we once again request you all to please join the Teams channel. The link to the channel has been posted in the chat window. If anyone hasn't done it already, please do. This is the last and final session of this summit. It's been a fantastic experience to work with you all, and all the presenters from every part of the world for quickly coming on board and making this summit a grand success. Just for your information, the whole thing was conceived between 3.5 weeks between idea to implementation. 3.5 weeks was all that was left. We wanted to do it at the time when people are still working from home to make it more effective. And it was all the partners and all the participants who jumped on board and supported us right away. And it's because of you the whole event turned out to be a great success. We had 42 presentations with 1,300 unique registrants for these events, and average participation was more than 1,200 a day. So it just turned out to be a remarkable success, and thanks to you all. And I would like to take this moment to also quickly thank Madhav for taking his time to do the presentation. And on behalf of the EA Global Summit team, I would just quickly like to thank the members of our team who worked from behind like almost 24/7 for the first 2 weeks to get the website, the registrations, the onboarding formalities, the teams, the go-to webinar. There's a lot of technical components that were required to make this work, and it was all done in a span of 26 days. So from zero to execution, it was 26 days. And I would really like to thank you all, and also thank this team for helping us to execute this. So we look forward to continuing our discussions in the Teams channel. And if you have any difficulty joining the Teams, please let us know. I will be having this session open for another couple of minutes, and we and our team will be available in the Teams as well. So if there's anything at all you would like to ask or share, please feel free to do so. Also, a last note, we will be reaching out to you to get some feedback on what could have been better, what we missed out, and what could be done better in the next event. And we look forward to seeing you in another event soon. Thank you all, and thanks, Madhav.
Thanks, Nizam. Thank you, everybody. We'll continue our conversations in team.